My name is Rita Delfeco. I was born in Denver. We moved to Rochester, New York, and that's where I grew up, and that's where I've been since. I went to residential schools at RSD, and I've been there since I was 3. I grew up there. I lived in the dorms, socialized with the other students that I lived with that were deaf. Communication was easier there. It was a great experience. I lived in the dorms through the week. And on the weekends, I went back to my parents' house. I traveled back and forth. But through the week, I stayed in the dorms. When I left RSD, I didn't think I wanted to go to college, so I left and I worked for a little while. But then I decided I was ready to go back to school. So I went to NTID, and I went to school to get my associate's degree in administration support technology. And then I went for my bachelor's degree in human resources. That was for my bachelor's study. And then I graduated in 2000. I will graduate in 2013. I grew up in a hearing family. I have 4 sisters and 1 brother that are all deaf. My little sister is hearing. Out of many deaf family members, she's the only hearing one. For 4 generations, we have had deaf family, except for a nephew. But ever since then, it's been a continuation of generational deaf family members. My little sister was hearing. She was the only one. But for 3-4 generations, we've been deaf. Many of my family graduated from different universities, many colleges, Gallaudet, NTID. I have many job experiences. My first job was in high school, and I babysat. And then I went to work in Philadelphia for the Dell company. I was the only deaf person, and I worked at night in the shipping and receiving department. Communication was not good. It was difficult. We had to write notes to communicate. It was a good job. It was a great experience. And then I moved back to Rochester for the Center for Disability Rights for Adults. And so our job was to support them, to get them for independent living. We had to watch them, help them to set their goals, help them to get better so that they could go out and be successful for independent living. There was another man, or we had and we took them around for appointments. But there was one man that I helped to take care of that always needed 2 staff members to be with him, to help him with his meals, to help him with showers, to keeping himself clean, helping him with his medication, and helping to plan his everyday activities. Every day was different. I was the only deaf staff member. This was my worst job with the Center for Children Development. I was the only deaf staff member. With these children, and there was around 12 to 14 children in the center. There were about 6 deaf children, the rest were all hearing. So communication was a challenge. There had been a rule change about how children ate. With one child having sweets or meat, or this one client wanted only vegetables, and I asked why you didn't like the chicken, and she was like, no, I only want vegetables. So then a staff member came to me and said, oh, no, now the special diets. And I was clueless. I had no idea they had changed the rule. And the staff member should have come to me first, and it wouldn't have gotten so worse. Communication just was just not good there. It was the worst job. Ah!